Good evening. So excited to have you join us. We're going to get started in just a moment. Want to let everyone else come into the room. Hope you're having a great day. I know here in Syracuse, had a little bit of rain, which is always great here in April, some April showers. Hopefully you had some beautiful weather. Excited to speak with you more just in a moment about the university and specifically some of our programs related to business, communication, and data, and really kind of give an overview of these fields as you're looking to head into them. So take a minute, come on in, grab some water. We'll get started in just a second. My name, as you're coming in, is Mike McGrath. I'm an assistant director here in the Office of Admission. I'm joined on the back end by my colleague, Tammy Blue Wolf Kennedy. We will be answering your questions throughout the presentation this afternoon. So feel free to submit those using the Q&A tab. If we don't get to your question today, we will follow up with you tomorrow. I want to make sure that we get all of those answers that we can. All right, looks like we've leveled out a little bit. So we're going to get started. Tonight's session is a brief overview and really a starting point as we're discussing opportunities related to business, communication, and data. This is both specific to the university, but also just in general in your college search. And so I always like to start with the big end when we're talking about this, right? Instead of starting at the beginning, start with the end. So in the Q&A tab, I want you to enter in what are the jobs you think of when you think of the field of business, communication, and data? What are those types of careers? So feel free to enter those in. I'm going to take a look as you submit those, and then we'll kind of go from there. So seeing some people talking about marketing, somebody else mentioned something related to journalism. So in the Q&A tab, if you have any ideas that you think of when you think of business, communication, finance. Somebody said law. Yeah, law is related to these fields. Advertising, definitely some great opportunities in all of these areas. So let's talk a little bit about fields that are related to these three areas of business, communication, and data. We have analytics. This is one that is incredibly popular right now that we see students getting involved in, students who are wanting to head into this field. And so students who are looking to go into analytics in the future are doing programs related to information, mathematics. They're looking at business. So this is a really popular field right now. Journalism. Journalism is often what students think of when they think of communications. This both range from broadcast to newspaper, magazine, digital, so many different fields within the idea of journalism. Public relations, this is basically anybody who is doing interface with the public. And so this is a very popular field that jobs are definitely growing in. It's actually the field that I am from is PR. And so it's one of those things that I'm really excited to talk about with students. Management, obviously, this is the one that I think a lot of people think of when they think of business as being a manager. Advertising and marketing, entrepreneurship, especially if you are somebody who is a self-starter, if you're looking to really create industries, create a force within that industry and your name, I think entrepreneurship can be a great future for you. And research and development. This is something that really is the cornerstone of everything related to business, related to data and communications, is research and development. And so that is something that is maybe not what you think of automatically when you think of business, but if you enjoy studying facts, if you enjoy looking things up, if you're somebody who really gets pleasure out of making sure everything is correct, research and development could be a great field for you. So as we're looking at the end, where you want to end up in these careers, let's take a step back and talk a little bit about how you get there. So why pursue a career in these areas? One thing is you are probably a great communicator. You enjoy speaking with others. Your use of words is often precise. You might be somebody who really gets joy out of bringing new ideas to life and helping people see that in the process. We want to see innovators in these fields. If you're looking to create new industries, if you're looking to really be a leader in those areas, innovation is going to be a great opportunity for you. If you're somebody who likes to solve problems, this is often a field that we'll see students want to enter into as business and data because they want to be able to solve those problems that exist in society, using facts, using complex algorithms, everything related to that. Job availability. We are always going to need people in the business field. We're always going to need communicators. Data, as I mentioned right now, is a growing field that is really reaching out into all other areas, be that sports, health, entertainment. There is going to be a need for people who understand and can analyze data. A long-lasting educational focus, I think, is something that is really a strong foundation in these areas. It's not just a job. Often people who are going into business or communication are wanting to really further their own understanding of that field. And so continuing to grow in your communication skills, in your managerial skills, is something that we really value when it comes to that industry. And then I think an opportunity to impact future generations. It's not just about the now, it's really about the future. And so that is one thing that I think we really have seen, is that people who head into this area are looking to really make an impact in the next steps. And so one person who's really done a great job of that is one of my colleagues who is with us today. Andrew, I'm gonna have you jump on in, and he's gonna talk sort of about that next step when it comes to what is the right major and maybe some of those areas that you can kind of discover at Syracuse.
Yeah, absolutely. So finding the right major is a huge part of just the college exploration process. Some of you may not know exactly what you are looking to study, but you know kind of the career field that you want to go into. So really understanding what your specific desires are, what your specific desire to learn is really important in the college application process and the college decision process. For me personally, when I am a Syracuse University alumni, I graduated from Syracuse, and I was really looking for an international business type approach for my personal education at Syracuse. So I was able to combine Spanish, the Spanish major, with two majors in the Whitman School of Management in finance and marketing to get that international business approach to my undergraduate learning. But maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you want to combine finance with communications and be a financial reporter on the news, or perhaps you want to do data with advertising to understand what the best advertising techniques are for students. So you're really able to mix and match these programs to allow you to get really find what the right major is to get you to that career field that you possibly want to do. There are also many opportunities for students to pursue minors and maybe mix a minor with a major. I always use marketing with psychology as the perfect example for this, because maybe you want to understand the psychology behind marketing and get into that field. So you could definitely do something along those lines. And you may find that there are students from different from different majors that end up in the same career field. Maybe you don't do journalism for college, but you really want to end up in a journalism career field. Maybe you pursue writing and rhetoric or English and textual studies to get into your English major. Or maybe you really want to work in the retail side, but you're not a marketing major or a retail management major, and maybe you study economics. You can end up in that type of program with those types of majors. And also you will be able to get many different types of hands-on experiences to find out what you really want to do. We always say that you may find that after you do your first internship, what you thought you wanted to do is actually not what you really want to do. So maybe start off in something like, I don't know, let's say accounting. You really like accounting and that's what you think you want to go to, but you do your first accounting internship and balancing a balance statement or just going over the general ledger and making sure everything equals out isn't necessarily what you want to pursue as a career. So then you could definitely go and get an internship maybe in finance, and that's something that you prefer to do. Or you could do research to get better understanding of what you would like to do in your future career field. Can we go to the next slide? So why Syracuse? Syracuse offers many different opportunities for students to succeed, and this is seen very in depth on our campus in those hands-on experiences that I just mentioned. First, we have cutting-edge research and experiential programs for students. So one research experiment I always like to talk about that I pursued when I was a student on campus was I did this with the supply chain management department. We actually studied the way that grocery store lines operated in the city of Syracuse. So with studying the way that grocery store lines operate in the city of Syracuse, we were able to then learn how to make these grocery store lines more efficient. And by doing so, we actually implemented what we learned into our campus bookstore, as well as the cafes around the university. We also have experiential programs. So maybe you are in our School of Information Studies that offers these experiential immersion trips where students could go to Asia Tech and learn about the tech companies in Asia. Or maybe you are in the Newhouse School of Public Communications and you take advantage of doing a semester in LA to really get an understanding of the communications career field out there. Or maybe you are part of the Whitman School of Management and you want to do your second semester of your junior year in New York City. Or perhaps maybe you're in one of our other programs, like in our College Division of Performing Arts and Communications and Rhetorical Studies, and you are able to take advantage of an internship opportunity in one of these great cities. You will be able to get that experiential learning program that we offer here at Syracuse. We also have many professors that were professionals in their fields before coming to Syracuse. There are many professors that are currently on the news as correspondents today. There are many professors that worked in big name companies. Like I had a professor that worked at Moody's, that was a bond rating company. I had another professor who was the head of buying for a company in England. So there are really great, you'll be learning from many great professors that have that hands-on experience as well. And there's also projects that students could do around campus, both on campus and off campus. If student wants to, for example, start their own company, we have 4 entrepreneurship offices on campus, so you could actually get that experience as well as starting your own company. There were 4 students during my year who created this company known as X Factor Lacrosse, where they were able to raise about $250,000 to start their own company. And after graduating, they have been a very successful company ever since. Then another great part about Syracuse is the career services at Syracuse. So during your freshman year, you will get a career service advisor that caters to your specific major. So if you are in your specific school, your career counselor knows what your resume should look like for the careers you're going into, the jobs you're going to be applying for, the internships you're going to be applying for. There are intricacies between different career paths that make your resume stand out. So our career services offices know that, and they really do help our students both with the resume portion of your applications, your cover letters, all the way to the interview. They'll do mock interviews with you. And also we have an unparalleled student experience, and we have so many alumni from around the world. We have about 260,000 alumni in 170 plus countries. And they come back to Syracuse all the time to network with our students, but also to share their experiences and really give our students an understanding of what it means to be to bleed orange. But also many of our alumni provide students with jobs and internships as well. They come back to meet with our students because they know that Syracuse students work hard. They know they're going to have that internship experience while they're here at Syracuse, and they know that they will be great professionals when they get into that career field. Okay, so what steps can you take now? We have many opportunities for students to explore these career fields at Syracuse. But while you're in high school, you could maybe take a journalism class. Maybe your school offers a newspaper. Maybe your school offers a business class and you can learn a little bit about the business field now. Maybe your school offers a data class. Data is a huge growing field. I actually just recently got my master's in information management, and that's specifically to understand data better and understand how data can help us make decisions. So if your school offers a data class, I highly recommend it because data is in every single field, and it's something that you are going to need as you get into your career field. So as you're looking at what your high school offers, think about taking these classes that perhaps you may have an interest in, or get involved with different clubs and organizations. There are so many clubs and organizations that you can get involved with, whether it be the Future Business Leaders of America or DECA or your school newspaper, your school yearbook. Even you could go into something that may have a little bit more of a programming side, like robotics, or if your school offers some type of data analytics club, or if your school offers hackathons, maybe you could take advantage of that while at your school. Then there's many things you could do over the summer. schools such as Syracuse offer summer college programs where you could take a college class over the summer to really get an understanding of what it's like to take a college class. But also that way you could take a class that really shows you what that career field may be like. So maybe right now you were thinking that you would like to do something in finance, let's say. You take that finance class and you find that's not really what you want to do. So when you are looking at your colleges, you know, maybe you would avoid finance. Maybe you would pick something more in the supply chain management or the entrepreneurship field. You could also do job shadowing. Many employers are more than willing to let you shadow their company for a day to see what it's like to be an employee at that company. So you could follow around an employee, see what their daily responsibilities are like. Maybe they let you sit in on a meeting, but that's really a great opportunity for you to see what it's like to actually have that career. And many students now in high school are able to get internships. We have students getting internships all across the country in great companies. They're working for banks, they're working for newspapers. I have interviewed several students that work with some professional blogs, and they work alongside them as well. And then with the college search, you want to understand what your schools offer. So there are some schools that may not offer such specified courses, and they may not give you the in-depth programs that you would get at some other universities. So just understand that what you're looking for in your college search may affect what you do for your career field. So just look at those academic offerings, and also at schools like Syracuse, we offer academic college specific sessions. So if you're thinking right now, you may want to do something in the business field, you may want to do something in the communications field, or you may want to do something in the data field, attend our specific sessions. That way you can really get an understanding of what it is to be in those programs and what those programs offer you specifically. Okay, so we are here to help. We do know that you may have many questions as the days come down, as you are looking to make these decisions. This is something that we don't expect you to know right now. You have many months and even maybe a few years to make this decision of what you want to study. But if you have any questions regarding what you wish to study, please reach out to us. Maybe we are more than happy to give you directions. If you know perhaps what career field you want to go into, but you don't know what major that lines up with, just let us know. Also, if you have any questions regarding admissions, we're also here to help. You can reach us at orange@syr.edu or call us at 315-443-3611. We do have a little bit of time. If any of y'all have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions for y'all. You are able to double major in Whitman as well as Newhouse, correct? Yes, that is correct. So we have what's known as the dual program, where you could apply as a dual major in the Newhouse School of Public Communications, as well as the Whitman School of Management. So with the dual program, you would apply directly into that program with your application, and then you would have a major in both schools. The dual programs do come with a heavier course load. So typically it's about 150 credits for the dual program. They do look for you to have some AP or dual enrollment courses, just so that way the course load isn't so heavy on you while you're at Syracuse, but it definitely is a possibility. For the BPS major, cybersecurity administration, are they still available for in-person students? Okay, so Tammy's going to answer that question. Can you give us an explanation on supply chain management and what jobs that can lead to? Absolutely. So supply chain management, just think about moving things from point A to point B to point C. In supply chain management, you are trying to understand the logistics of a company. So I'll use Amazon as an example. Amazon is a huge logistics company. Yes, it is a retail company, but its actual industry would more likely fall under logistics because they operate their own delivery system as well as outsourced delivery systems to FedEx and UPS and USPS to ensure that you are getting your packages on time. So when you study supply chain management, you are understanding those logistics. You are understanding how to best delineate your processes, so that way you can avoid any bottlenecks. You could make your processes as efficient as possible. So that's a little bit of what supply chain is like, but jobs that could lead into range from anything to a procurement analyst, where you are going to be understanding where everything is sourced from, to a logistics manager, where you have to make sure that everything gets to each point of your supply chain in at the correct time, as well as to the correct person. So there are many opportunities for the supply chain management major. Honestly, it is one of my favorite majors at Syracuse. If I could go back to Syracuse, I definitely would major in supply chain management. What abroad programs do you offer in these fields? So there are many abroad programs at Syracuse University. For our abroad office, we don't really limit abroad programs to specific majors, but there are some immersion trips that are for specific, that are major specific within the iSchool and the Whitman School of Management. Within the iSchool, there is Asia Tech, Eurotech, Entratech. These go to different areas to really study tech companies, but if you're not in the iSchool, you can still take advantage of these immersion trips. Within the Whitman School of Management, they have immersion trips for different majors that they will go to New York City and study that specific major's company. So if you wanted to learn about the retail management industry or the finance industry, students will actually go to those areas to learn about those specific career fields. But we also have students um, that will go to study abroad in all of our different areas. For example, I studied abroad in Spain while I was a student at Syracuse. That's one of our centers that students are able to study abroad in. So if you would like to study abroad in one of our 5 centers, you're more than welcome to do so. Many of our Newhouse students will go to London just because of the classes that are offered. Many of our Whitman students will go to Madrid because of the classes that are offered. But that doesn't limit you to those 2 locations. If you're in that major, you can still go to any of the other locations if you wish. Okay. Next question is, can I apply direct to the Whitman School of Management as a freshman? Yes, you can apply direct to the Whitman School of Management as a freshman. You actually have to apply directly to the school or college on our campus. You can't just apply to Syracuse University as a whole when you're applying to Syracuse. You have to apply to the specific school or college on our campus. So when you are looking at Syracuse, you can apply undecided into several of these programs. So if that's something you would rather do, you definitely can do that, but you would have to select the school or college. So either the Whitman School of Management, Arts and Sciences, School of Information Studies, or the Newhouse School of Public Communications, Visual Performing Arts, any of those 10 schools and colleges. What resources can we use to help us find our career paths? So I talked a lot about maybe you know what career path you would like to get into and how the majors line up to that career path. But if you don't know exactly what career path you want to get into, that's a great conversation to have with your career counselor. Maybe you know where your interests lie and you could speak with your career counselor to see how to best line up your interests with a specific career. Maybe you're really good with numbers and you love working with numbers. You could tell your career counselor that, and maybe they decide that accounting would be a good path for you. Or maybe you love, just like I do, you love looking at spreadsheets. So maybe data would be a good path for you. But that's a great conversation to have with your career counselor. And as I mentioned before, you get your career counselor as soon as you start your freshman year here at Syracuse. So that would be a great opportunity for you. Are co-ops available at Syracuse as well as internships? So co-ops, to understand co-ops, I'm just going to define the difference between co-ops and internships. They're basically the same thing, except for when they happen during the year. A co-op happens while a student is in class and they are taking their classes. Internships happen over the summer. So co-ops are available. If a student wants to get a co-op, they definitely can. But we more advertise that students get internships so that way they could focus on their schoolwork during the school year. That's just something that we focus more on. Many of our schools and colleges do require that a student has an internship before they graduate from Syracuse University. So you will have to get that internship between your junior and senior year. Are there, let's see, can you spend some more time describing what you learned in the iSchool program? What are the majors and whether computer science programming relates to the iSchool? Yes, so like I mentioned, I just recently finished my program at the iSchool, and the iSchool is an absolutely amazing program. I wish I decided to do the dual program in the iSchool when I was a student, because I always said you could take any major within the Whitman School of Management and add the word analyst after it, and that's a job. So if you are, for example, in the dual program between the Whitman School of Management and the School of Information Studies, you could be a finance major and an information management technology major, and then become a financial analyst, or a marketing major and information management technology major, and then become a marketing analyst. For the iSchool, it really is understanding the connection of data and big data with business decisions and making those decisions within a company. So it is an absolutely amazing program. It does relate to computer science in some ways. There are opportunities for students to do very coding heavy classes, but with the majority of our coding heavy programs, you're going to be doing more data related coding. So you're going to focus more on languages like Python, R, SQL. So you will have some computer science knowledge, but it's going to be more data focused. And there are 3 majors now within the School of Information Studies. I don't want to get screw up the titles of them, so I'm going to have one of my 2 colleagues, if they don't mind, typing in the chat what the 3 majors are. But it's Information Management Technology, and then we just added 2 more majors. So I'll have one of my colleagues type those names in the chat. Are there classes on product development, innovation? How much experience can I get in this specific area? Thank you. So I personally don't know if we have specific classes in the product development and innovation area, but we do have many opportunities for students to work with other students around the campus in this area. So if you maybe want to work with an engineering student and develop a product, or you want to work with a student in our School of Design to design a product, that is something that many students do. We also have Invent at SU, which is a great program over the summer where you could actually win $5,000 for creating a product. So one of our student tour guides from a few years ago actually won this project, this competition over the summer, and she and her partner created a wearable inhaler that you wear around your wrists, because many students find that it's difficult to carry your inhaler around at all times, especially for students that may do sports like track and field. So they created this wearable inhaler. They won that product, they won that competition. So if that's something that you wish to do, it's definitely an experience you can get at Syracuse. Okay. Retail, can you spend more time? Oh wait, nope, sorry. Retail management, I would assume, could lead you to working for fashion companies. What type of job would you be doing for these companies? Yes, retail management could lead you to work for fashion companies. It could also lead to many other areas. We see many of our retail management students going on to become buying agents for companies. So they go on to become buyers, or they're going on to work for these retail type companies and such. So it's definitely a great major. Many students will combine retail management with something like marketing, or with a major in another program around campus. Okay, so I believe that is all of our questions for this afternoon. I want to thank you all for joining us. If anybody has any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach us again at orange@syr.edu, or call us at 315-443-3611. But I hope you all have a great rest of your day.